Hi, I'm Jakira Black, and this is a review for the 5th season by N.K. Jemisin. This is the first book in a trilogy called the Broken Earth trilogy, I suppose. I really like this. I thought it was really well written. It was a very intriguing story. I know that I've got a friend who is very much into, the very well written novels, because I tend to read a lot of YA. And he said that this is one of my best choices that I'd made. It was shortlisted for the Hugo, the Nebula and the Locus Awards. I've got a feeling it won at least one of them, but I'm not certain. This is the first book that I've read of this series, but I do intend to read the whole series this year. But this review is just about this book. And it's not going to be a review about the story so much, but about the creative writing techniques that the author used to write this story. So first of all, I'm going to talk about the plot, which in a way is about the story. So what is this story about? Basically, it's about power and control. Who controls the power? It's about subjugation and racism, really. There are people in this world that have a power, and then there are people that don't, that are afraid of those that have this power, and they control them. They keep them in place, and they tell them what to do and where to go. And yeah, it's very much about subjugation, and they're deemed as not even human. And to be quite honest, this is very in keeping with a lot of novels, and I've not written down any novels in my notes, but this is very indicative of the other, the slave, or the pirate, or the native, or or like the black person, seen as, or like, I mean, for instance, I read a few years ago, I read Monster of Men, well, the Case Walking series by Patrick Ness, and there's a race, is set on a planet, and there's a race of aliens called the Spackle, and they're very subjugated because they are the other. They are this group of people that are deemed as less human than anyone else. And it's the same with this. This story actually revolves around this idea that, these people have these powers, but they're seen as less than those. They're something to be feared. They're different. They're not allowed to be in control of themselves. So yeah, this story starts with a hook. Now, obviously, it is important that stories start with hooks. Usually, the idea is it's called in medias res, and which is classical, meaning into the middle of things. And it's very much, it starts in the action. It starts where things have gone bad or have the potential to go bad very quickly. It's very much that it's in this story. It introduces a mystery. What is happening? What is happening there? How is these things happening? Who is it? There is a man. Who is he? What is he? What is happening there? Why is he doing these things? And who are all these people? It also starts with a personal ending of a mother whose child has died. So the hook is basically in the fifth shadow is an apocalypse, really. You know, I don't think it's a worldwide one, and I think this is based on Earth in sometime in the vast future, but it could be another planet. But it's like a local apocalypse has happened. This sort of traumatic thing has happened. So yeah, and it goes straight into this awfulness. There's no faffing around. There's no setting the scene particularly. It goes straight into the action. It gets straight to the danger and the you know, yeah. So but it does that in the form of a prologue. Now, prologues are quite often looked down on. A lot of authors, you know, the advice is don't have a prologue. They are looked down on, but I suppose if they're done properly, then they're good. Was this done properly? I'm not certain. It didn't seem to flow quite like the rest of the story did. It's had a different flavour to it almost, which was a shame, really, because once it got into the story, so I think it's for every author to decide whether or not it's a good idea to have a prologue. It did, to be quite honest, the prologue did actually apply to right at the end, you know, because right at the end it's revealed who the man is that I said in the hook, who that was. So yeah, I think it probably does work, but you just have to make sure it's tight, and I'm not sure in this case that it quite matched the rest of the book, you know, the writing style and the way it was done. So yeah, let's see what else. We'll talk about the point of view and the tenses. Now, there are, well, no, actually what we'll do is I'll talk about the characters. There are 3 characters in this story, 3 main characters whose point of view are examined. There is Essen, who is a middle-aged woman who goes on a journey of revenge and of rescue, following her husband who has killed her son and kidnapped her daughter. This is very much about pursuit, revenge and pursuit. So if I was thinking of a type of story, it is very much like the 7 basic plots and the quest. You know, she's got this quest to do. And then we've got Damaya, who is a young girl who has her first episode of this power, and then someone comes and gets her. A guardian comes and gets her and takes her to this school, this place where she'll learn to manage her powers and use them in the way that the guardians say that she should use them. It is, this part of the story is quite a build, and I can't even say this, build, go on Roman. It's coming of age. You know, she discovers that she's got this power, and then she slowly starts to control it. And then the last person is Cyanide, who is a young woman, and she's proficient, and she's sent on a mission to clear coral from a, I'm disappearing here because I just dropped the book, from a harbour along with a mentor. And this in a way is the quest as well, so maybe the first one is, no, I don't know, the first one is revenge anyway. But this is very much the quest as well. You know, she's got a task to do. She's got this mentor who is got a task of mentoring her, but she's got this task to do. You know, they've got a job to do, to go and serve the people. They have the power. All of them have this power, but this woman is, you know, she's in the middle of, you know, she's young, she's useful to society, you know, who use her skills to do whatever needs doing. So yeah, I think it's really, really important to think very much about your characters and who they are. In the past, I've used different things. I've used psychological ideas. So yeah, you know, you need to think about who they are, explore who they are, maybe do free writing about their characters, which is something that I do. So yeah, my daughter is shouting me and I can't answer it because I'm doing this video. Let's see. So I will just talk about the POV now, and then that's everything that I want to talk about. Two of the characters, their stories are told in third person. Yeah, in third person, and it's present tense. But the last character, and this is the old woman, the middle-aged woman whose child has been killed, her story is told in second person. Now that is not something that I've come across that much. I found it very, very interesting. I thought it was very, very well written. In a way, it seemed like it was in a future tense, which I found very, very intriguing. I do actually want to read more books. I know that there's a few, and I should have noted down what books. I know I've got a couple that are from looking at a list about second person novels. I know I've got a couple, but I'm not certain which one. Well, no one's called. I know one's set in the sort of Ice Age sort of time, I think. But yeah, I want to read more second person, and I wouldn't actually mind having a go at writing second person. But from what I've heard, it is something that is very, very hit and miss, and it's quite hard to do. So yeah, so that is my review of the 5th season by M.K. Jemisin. It is worth reading. It's worth reading for the story, but it's also worth reading for writers, because the thing is, you know, as writers, writers need to be readers. They need to read and recharge their literary batteries and get ideas and about techniques and stories and stuff like that. So yeah, this is well worth reading. So okay, bye.